Alright, what's up guys? Tony here with another video. Today's video is going to be pretty long. It's going to be a side lane guide. Just a bit about why I made this video, because it's going to be very long. But I've been watching a lot of AOV videos lately, seen a lot of mistakes that people make in side lanes, even the best Taiwanese and Thai players. And I've been playing side lane for almost a year now. I've basically reached almost the top for side lanes, lane against almost all the best players. So I think I'm pretty qualified to talk about this subject. And I'll be posting a video after this if I get some good side lane gameplay. You can also see in my previous videos when I play Li Xing or my montages, my side lane is really clean. Like, I'm not trying to brag, but you should believe me when I say, when I see players in AOV do side lane, they're really doing it wrong. Anyway, so let's get started. As usual, the table of contents is in the comments below, so you can check what you actually want to see. Not gonna timestamp them because this is gonna be like a 40-minute video, but yeah, just check out what you want to see. So let's get started. So again, like I talked about in the jungle video, what you should do is when you are in the loading screen and you see the 5v5, you should think about the matchups and what's gonna happen in the game. So are you gonna get invaded? Is mid lane gonna shove in? Is your jungler, should he be invading? Is he gonna get invaded on? Like, which buff will he get invaded on? Which lanes are gonna win? You should always be thinking about that, right? So when you're in loading screen and you think about that, then you can think about which side you should go, so top or bot lane. And this is literally almost always the game deciding factor. It's crazy. Like, envision you're playing, I don't know, a very poor hero side lane before level 4, and your other side lane is Elsu or something, right? And if Elsu, he goes top, he'll probably meet the ADC lane, and Elsu dumpsters on every ADC almost. And then, like, maybe it's Valheim, right? So if Elsu goes top and fights Valheim, he wins that lane probably. And you're weak level pre-4, right? So you go bot lane versus maybe they have a Tara. I don't know, some random laner. But then you can have a safe laning phase, you can get to level 4 and win that lane. But if you're weak pre-4 and you lane versus the Valheim, and Elsu has to lane versus Tara, then both of you have lost lane. Both side lanes are getting pressured in. You're probably gonna lose your side lane tower, and he might make a mistake and get ganked and die. And then both side lanes are gone. Both side lane towers lost. Your jungle collapses because they can just invade from the side. And the game is over just because of 2 players, okay? Just because of the lane matchups. Mid lane, support, jungler, they might be the best players in the world, but if that happens, then it's pretty hard to recover it, not gonna lie, man. If your side lane towers go down, and then they just invade your jungle repeatedly. Anyway, so you have to watch out for the matchups, and you have to think about which side, top or bottom, you want to go. And you also want to think about which side you might invade or which side you might defend. So if you see the enemy who is playing Tiger, you guess that they're going to make a blue buff invade and not red buff. So you're strong level 1 like me, both man in the video. So then you go blue side and then you chunk them or kill them. And then the game turns out very well. So think about top and bot. You know, in AOV, you always put the ADC on Abyssal side, but I've yet to find truly the reason for doing that. It doesn't really make any sense. I've asked a lot of people about this, but why does the ADC have to always go Abyssal, right? It doesn't make any sense. And you'll see at the highest level, old Korean like teams, AHQ, they never followed that rule, because having the advantage lane and having the advantageous side to invade on is far more important than just getting Abyssal, okay? But of course in AoV this is a bit hard to apply, but just think about it in your head next time when you do top and bot selection. Because who says the ADC always has to lane versus the ADC, dude? Like, who makes up these rules? So I've yet to find like reasons that outweigh what I just explained, because this is far more important. And the second thing I want to talk about, this is all encompassing as well, is the last hitting. So when I watch a lot of videos, AoV or KLG, people don't really last hit, okay? And this is not great because the last hit gives you a lot of gold. So the difficulty about last hitting, it's actually like easy, right? But the difficulty is you have to implement all the information I talk about in this video while maintaining a very good last hit rate, or like last hitting everything. So you'll see in my previous videos, I'm doing all this tech and last hitting at the same time. And last hitting is truly where you can build your gold lead or maintain it, because you're getting like, I don't know, 20-30% more gold. And if your enemy is not doing it, they're just gonna lose the lane by default. So practice your last hitting, really make an effort to last hit properly, like understand how the minions hit each other and use your goddamn skills to last hit, learn the tower hits, you know, that this just comes from practice. No amount of theory can help you for last hitting. And just another note about last hitting, sometimes if you play a week early or because of another reason, it's okay to give up last hits, you know. Sometimes you have to decide whether the last hit is worth getting autoed for 4 times, or it's worth, you know, blowing your passive like for birdman. So just think about these things, because I don't always last hit, you know. Sometimes I leave the minions alone, and maybe I can freeze the wave or deny the wave from the enemy, or maybe I want to conserve spells for other reasons. So practice last hitting, gain the ability, and then think for yourself whether you need to last hit certain creeps or not. Okay, so that's like the pre-game shit. Let's talk about when you load in. Let's say you've got your strategy on, you know you're going top lane, you're playing boatman, and the thing with boatman, or whatever hero you play, should understand his strengths or weaknesses, right? And if you don't, then watch videos on how server best players play him, okay? So there's, let's say 3 ways to approach the early game. Well, 4 ways, really. We're just talking about level 1, right? So you could go mid lane, right? And hide in this bush. And then you could go like here, hide here. And I would get here around 27 seconds, 26 seconds. So I get here before the wave comes in. Where's the goddamn wave? There's no wave, side lane, feels bad. But anyways, the wave hits at 33. So if I pass into this bush before like 30, the wave can't see me go into this bush. And maybe the dumbass ADC like comes along here and starts like lasting here, right? So maybe I just go here and chunk him for 1 billion, you know? That's one strategy. 2, going mid and hiding here and trying to kill the mid lane is also a strategy. Another strategy is you can start on the crab and you see, oh, I missed. Oh, I didn't miss, I'm good. And like this hero can kill the crab from like 1500. So you see like here, it just, I missed, god damn it. But you know what I mean. Like from 1500, I can last hit the crab on this hero. So It's a very safe crab to do. So maybe you could do like a combination of both, right? Because I'm playing a very strong level 1 or 2 hero, but if I'm beta and I'm just clearing the wave here, then the ADC can poke me out. But if I'm like here at level 1, I'm level 2 already. God damn it. How can I reset this? Okay, I'm level 1, ADC comes here, I chunk him with my auto, I hit him twice, maybe I use daze, I probably won't. He's half health, I'm full health. Maybe I start doing this crab, and he's like, oh, what's this crab, right? And then he comes along, and I boom, daze, and he dies. That's one strategy, right? Or two strategy combines in one. Yeah, another strategy is the early 2 rush. So I hide here, the wave comes in, I do this, it hits the ADC or enemy and the 3 things, and then we maybe trade or I just fake something here. I auto the wave, or he walks up there, I do this, I hit level 2 while I hit the enemy, and I hit the wave, and then I'm 2, he's 1, so I just degenerate him out and he dies. So, and of course there's also another thing, like if you're weak, then maybe you want to hide here, like you're leashing, then you just last hit from here and you're pretty much safe, right? He might push the wave in, so you shove here, you last hit here, you watch out for the crab here, maybe try to steal the crab. Anyways, why I talk about this is this level 1 strategy is super goddamn important for you. And I'm not kidding, guys. It's super important to learn the level 1 strategy for your hero. Every hero is different, every matchup is different. So you better goddamn learn how to win your level 1. Because if you're playing a super insane hero like Boatman, who's good at level 1 and 2, and you throw away that advantage, which I've seen people do, then it's just pointless. Don't play this hero, you know what I mean? So practice this. And the thing is, if you fall behind on Boatman, right, this is what's gonna happen, right? Let's say you just walk up to the wave here and you're last hitting, and then he pushes you in, you're stuck under the tower. He's gonna poke you some more, take this dog, crab, you're stuck here more, you're probably half health, you can't win the lane anymore. But if you start from level 1 and he gets bullied out, you know, like this, then you get the lane, you won the lane. So just this level 1 talk, it's super important. So think about like what to do at level 1. If you don't understand, watch videos. Watch the clickbait videos. Watch the clickbait videos where they're like, oh, I got first blood at level 1. Watch how they do it. You can replicate all of those in your games and just carry from there, right? Okay. So that's the level 1. Oh, there's also another level 1 strategy, but usually I don't recommend it unless you took punish. You might be able to steal this, right? So let's say you walk from base to here, maybe you sneak in here, and the enemy laner is jerking off sleeping, so he doesn't see you. Then you just walk here, and you just yoink this. With punish, of course. This is gonna be very slow, I can imagine. Yeah, it's pretty slow. Yikes. So yeah. And if you see, if you took punish and you see they're doing red, then maybe you just fuck off. You don't do this. You might fuck up here, but you can do this and then just punish it. But remember what I said. On this hero, as long as the crab is below 1500 at level 1, you can just one-shot last hit. Of course, I'm not good on this hero, so don't flame me. But you can last hit this from 1500. And you can use this crab as a bait for the enemy to come, and then you can, you know, use this. You know what I mean? Yeah. What's next? Okay. Level 2 strategy, right? So yeah, what I was saying, you might want to hit this wave and get a quick level 2, And if you're level 2 and the enemy is level 1, then you can bully him out. And once you hit level 2, you clear the next wave. You could do two things, right? One is you realize they start red, they go to blue, so you're safe here. You can freeze this lane. You can stand here. You're level 2, freeze this lane. You can deny him of all these minions, right? He might come and get them. You can get most of them, but you can choose to deny him here. Or if you know that their jungler start blue, then you just second wave, you just hurry up and last hit, and then you just fuck off. Because when the timer hits 130, 120ish, they're probably gonna come here and gank you. Other level 2 strategies, not really. Again, it depends on how you played your level 1, and you should think about, again, watch videos or think about what your hero should do at level 2. Most of the time it's pretty straightforward, right? So don't mess up, don't fuck around. Just try your best. And if you make a mistake, don't be sad. Just side lane is like a lane you have to play like, I don't know, 500 games to like really get the hero mechanics right and play your hero properly. Like, don't fret, just spam one hero and learn that, right? Okay, what's next? Level 3. So when the second wave hits, you're probably safe, but the third wave, when it's about to crash, that's usually when the enemy jungler is going to come, or sometime around that. I don't know exactly when. And when the third wave comes, you really have to be careful. Maybe you stand here because you realize they're coming here. And another thing you can do, whether there's no jungler or not, forget about the enemy jungler. Like, let's say you're getting shoved in and you can't even hit this wave at all. So what you stand here. And there's two things you can do when the enemy wave is coming in here. One is, if the wave comes in here, you can stand here and pull the wave towards you and then last hit. And maybe the enemy ADC is like stupid and he's like here. If he sees you pull it, he can't really do anything. Second is you let the wave crash in because you can't afford to take damage, and then you just hit it, you know. In both cases, you're safe under this bush. The ADC can't really see you. By the time he sees you, by the time you last hit it, when he reacts, you already finished the wave, you know. So yeah. Level 3, the key to defending your tower, no matter if it's a winning or losing matchup, is you need to hit the wave before it even crashes in, ideally. So let's say you're Lee Xin, you can't do it on this hero. But what you want to do is you're behind, but you hit this thing, hit the wave, use your S2, hit it, and back off quickly. And so by the time your wave gets to hit their wave is starting to lose health already. So you spam your S2 again, and by the time the enemy ADC clears your wave is crashing in here, you can easily pick up the hits. And this does two things. One is you defend your tower, so it doesn't take as much damage. The second thing it does, sorry, I just yawned, Monka W. The second thing it does is it prevents a gank. So usually a jungler support plus him will maybe like dive you 3v1 or 4v1. But if you clear most of this wave, they really can't dive you. Like, they'll have to dive you without minions, which is always Monka W. So yeah. Have good habits of stealing damage on the wave. It's super important, especially at that 1 minute 30 gank. Know your limits. Of course, don't stand fucking here when the jungler's about to gank, but try to steal as much damage here as possible. So when it gets pushed into your tower, you won't have to deal with much. Of course, when you do this, it's easy to get interrupted on your last hits, but that's just how it is, man. What can I say, guys? Okay, So let's say you maybe get a good early game, you kill your laner, you force him out or something. Let's talk about level 4 strategy. So when you're level 4, you can look for two things, right? Well, pre-level 4 as well, of course, but level 4, you can look for the solo kill like this. You know, you do your combo and you do enough damage to one-shot him. Man, I'm rusty on this. You know, like Birdman can one-shot anyone at level 4 as long as they're level 4 as well or weaker. You could look for a mid engage. Like you could like do this, and then you could, like, you know what I mean. Or you could hide here and look for a. Or they start a fight here, so once you finish your wave here, you go mid and you clean their wave so it gets crashing into their tower. Or, you know, you could steal these camps. Depends on what hero you're playing. Sometimes it's not easy to steal them. You know, you could also go for bird. By the way, the second bird comes out around when their enemy jungler is about to come here. So I would not attack the second crab. It's pretty dangerous. Unless you know they start red side and they go blue side. But these are things you'll learn when you spam 500 games. So don't get overwhelmed for now. Just try to absorb as much information as you can. Let's go with it. The other strategy you can also do is you can, god damn it, here we go. You can do like these camps, because maybe your jungler, they're 4v4 like this side of the map. So you just help your jungle clear out. It's wasted gold. But usually the best strategy is you want to put pressure mid. So then he's forced to go mid as well to defend his wave. But by the time you clear this, you can also be close to the fight here. So just in case you see an opportunity to clean up, you just kill them, you know. You also have to think about, so this strategy really only works if you have lane priority here and you can clear the lane faster. But ideally, if you followed all of my advice before, then it should not be a problem. Like, let's say it's an ADC and he's being pussy under the tower. So maybe you just, you know, push the wave in. He's stuck under the tower. Steal his red maybe, probably not. Maybe you go mid. You're just walking there. I need boots. I should walk pretty fast. You clean this wave as well. Maybe you get 1 kill Cucklord here. So you clean this wave, you get 200 gold-ish. You get this kill, 200 gold. Then by the time you go back to lane, not on ult of course, but I'm just being lazy. You're 400 gold on this guy. You clean the wave again. You're so goddamn rich. Then maybe you do some bird. Yeah. So, the next thing I want to talk about is also an extension of what I'm just talking about. Learn how to manage your waves. Like, you know the wave when it comes up here and the enemy wave will be coming up at the same time, right? So if you hit this wave and you kill it, you have 30 seconds to roam. Maybe you go mid, right? And once you clear out the mid wave, which is at a different timing on top wave, you have around 5-10 seconds or maybe less to go back mid top to get the wave. Or you can sacrifice some time and you let the ADC clean this wave so it comes under your tower. But by the time it comes under your tower, you should really be here. You should not be jerking off here, you know what I mean? Or that's a free tower for the enemy ADC. So learn to manage your waves. And also, if it's crashing into your tower, then your next wave is probably coming out soon. So you can't roam on the next wave. You have to make a choice of either roaming and having like 5 to 10 seconds to be back for the next wave and get priority on that again. Or you make a big roam, but then your next wave, you're stuck here. You can't roam after your next wave because you're delayed. But maybe you have enough time to do this, which is exactly what I would do. I'm late to the wave, but I'll just do this. And again, remember what I said? We took a 400 gold lead. Here we take another lead. And this wave is coming in, so... And maybe this AEC is too cocky now. And remember, you're fed now, so you just bang, and then he dies. Then you're a 2-0 warlord. You're 800 1k gold on the enemy ADC. You just take control of the game from there. So, very key, guys. Learn to manage your goddamn waves, because this is what's gonna do chip damage to the tower. This is how you're gonna make your enemy lose gold. Always watch that. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if this guy's faker mid lane and you're ganking faker here. Watch your goddamn wave, dude. Manage your wave. And when you get good at managing your wave, then you can make a decision of which waves to sack, which waves not to come for. So I can't tell you the exact answer. You have to feel it in the game, but you always have to be aware of the wave that's coming in here. That's the number one thing every laner should care about. Okay, so the next thing is about taxing, which is a sensitive topic usually. Like taxing a wave. Like I was just explaining, a common strategy, like you clear this wave, there's no action, so you just help your mid clear the wave, because maybe your mid will go bot here to help on a fight, so you just hit his wave so it goes in the tower. If you're super greedy and you know your mid is like a girl or bad, you can stand here and it taxes this wave without showing yourself. So maybe when the enemy mid comes, you just bang and she dies, right? But mid is a pretty common target to tax. I almost always do it, unless the mid is very, very good. And taxing jungle, like I explained, is perfectly fine. Like you can tax this, probably not tax blue buff. But let's say you get hard shoved in, right? And you lose your tower. So you're like stuck here, right? Then it's perfectly fine to take these camps, because your jungler is probably occupied here. That's the only reason why this tower fell. And if the jungler is crap, then I even take his blue. But this is the deal, right? If you tax very hard, you better carry the game. So only do that if you're confident in carrying or making very insane use of the gold. Or I would just not do it, man. But it's perfectly fine to tax, especially when you get fall behind, like when you're down here. Like, taxing is good. If you're ahead, I would not tax. I would probably take out, all this crap here and be more useful. In terms of invades, I cover most of it in my jungle video, so I'm not gonna repeat. Even if you main side lane, the jungle video is a good watch. But you can think about which invades to make. Like, this guy is not very good at doing jungle camps, but he's very good at invading. So just watch where your jungler is. Maybe you can call an invade here, check the spawn time. Of course you can do this if you have time, but it's not. Look how slow it is. But if you're doing a jungler with punish, then usually making these invades, cleaning these camps, like doing this circle thing, like in my Arthur Smite video, is very worth. So I can't tell you when to invade. You have to smell for it yourself, spam the game, figure out where the enemy jungler is, and figure out whether it's worth to steal these camps or not. Because, yeah. And you have to realize red buff gives you a lot of XP and gold, so it's always worth to steal it. It's really, it's just, if you take this like level 5, the enemy jungler is level 6, You take this and you're 6, and the enemy jungler is 6. He's cucked forever, dude. You take 1 red buff, that's the game basically in low elo. So yeah, think about when this is appropriate. Always keep those buff timers in your heart. This spawns at, if he starts blue, then it spawns at 2 minutes, it spawns at 2:45. And then you just add, not 2 minutes, but just add 2 minutes after that, and it gets pretty easy to track. And when your buff is about to expire, this will spawn 20 seconds after that. And of course, this spawns every minute, so keep track of that as well. And that's the path to most gold. Also, something you might not have realized is side lane always gets the most gold because of these mechanics. Like, you always have the choice to steal jungle, and you always have the choice to tax like mid wave, jungle wave. So yeah. Oh, also one thing about roaming, I would not roam all the way here unless you know for sure you can shove to here. You know what I mean? Always tend to your wave. And you might get flamed for that, but when you start the game, like when you just start playing, like you're in Diamond Masters, tending your wave is the first best habit to get into. Then when you get better, you can learn like to break free of this habit. But this is super important. Okay, so we're about to wrap up this video. That was just early game, right? And mid-late game, you know, like I don't really have to talk too much about. Oh, one more thing, but this applies to any like part of the game, is about camping bushes. Like once you're able to track where the enemies are and have a good feeling, try to make traps. So I explained some in my jungle video, but I'll re-explain them again. This is a trap for ADCs coming this side, for the jungler clearing red. This trap doesn't work because you get spotted by this tower, so this tower has to be down to work. This trap doesn't work because when you walk in here, you can be like, when you're here, you can be spotted here. So I almost never use this. But if you like go in through here and no one's here, and then you expect someone to walk through like this way, then this works. But this is awful because usually when people walk through here, they go through here. So sitting in this bush is the same effect almost. This trap is like an early game trap. Like if they walk through here to make a thing, mid laners will often go through here to side lane. So this is a great trap. And you can access this trap by going through this wall, so they have a blind spot on their vision, right? This trap, everyone knows how to use. These traps I'm not going to talk about. This trap is a very good trap that no one uses, like a forward trap. And you can use this, like usually you can get spotted walking through here, but pay attention to the minion wave. And when you just look for an opportunity to like go through this, right? And maybe the enemy won't expect that you're here. He walks up like an idiot and then you bang, he dies, right? Any other traps? This trap is straightforward, I'm not going to talk about. This is a straightforward trap as well. I'm not going to talk about this one. Let's see on blue side. This trap is also almost always useless because if you walk through here, you can be spotted, right? If you walk through here, you can also be spotted. I think so. Yeah, you can be spotted flying through this, so it's useless. But if you walk through like this way, they can't see you unless they're in that bush. So this is very nice. This trap is useless because, you know, that tower can see you, but if the tower is down, then you can trap them coming through this side, which is nice. This is a good trap, standard trap. But you'll notice that on blue side, it's hard to trap them because you're standing here at the deepest. But on this side, it's much easier because you can stand pretty deep, right? So, yeah, what can I say? This trap is for enemies coming through this side. You can, like, if they come through and then you can kill them. This trap is the same concept as this trap. You watch the wave and you sneak in through here and the tower's still up. But they might walk through here and then you just kill them. This is the 1800, 1900 elo trap bush. So if you get trapped by someone here, That guy is damn good. Let's just say that. Yeah. Just mid game, early game, also late game. Practice these traps because that's how a side lane carries the game. You trap ADCs like this. Like ADCs are stupid, right? They're always gonna try to do this red buff. So you stand here. It's like 20 minutes in the game. He takes his red buff alone. You're alone, but bang, he dies. And you have that sickle, so you can get out safely. Then it's a 5v4. Then the game ends. Big strats. Okay, so let's talk about mid game. Mid game again, like you know these basics. If you're lower level than the enemy or have less gold, probably can't make solo kills. But always look for the solo kill if you can because it breaks the game. If you're bad at making solo kills, it's because you don't play enough. You don't spam your heroes enough. Or you don't watch enough TikTok videos or YouTube videos on when is the appropriate time to make kills. But you know the basics, like boatman is the bread and butter, right? And let's say the enemy is under this, like he's pushing here. He might be ahead of you, but if you're under your tower and he's doing this, you just do this and he dies, man. So learn your solo kills, learn your HP thresholds. Like spotting the solo kills is an art, and by only when you play more and when you master everything else I talked about this video, then you get put in a better position to make those solo kills, right? You don't want to make these solo kills from behind. You always want to be ahead or an advantage to make those kills. But if you're always doing something wrong, then these solo kill opportunities don't get presented to you, right? Also mid game or early game, you can also think about lane swapping. Maybe you get into the wrong lane, but lane swapping is like for high elo, I guess, because people don't really listen to you in low elo. But a very easy time to lane swap is, let's say you defend your tower very well here. Your ADC pushes their tower down. That's a very good time to lane swap because he can go top and shut down that tower, and then you're like, you can just go there. You were being cut by ADC, but you'll go here and lane versus the enemy who was being cut by your ADC. And of course, because you took down one tower, you should have an advantage over that, like that guy. So you might be able to solo kill him here, and he has no tower, so yeah, not bad. So that's a very common lane swap starting in Masters, but in higher elo, lane swaps get more complex, but I'm not going to talk too much about them because you probably won't see it. But just try a lane swap when you feel like it's appropriate. Ping your enemy, ping your allies, tell them to fuck off, whatever. But yeah. And then about the different kinds of side laners, you should understand that in every game, sorry, not every game, there's like 3 kinds of side laners basically in this meta. First one is like ADC, so they just, you know, naturally suck in lane, most of them, and they usually die. The second kind is the offensive melee type. So like boatman is kind of offensive. It's the guy who does the engaging and the attacking. So I can start and engage with boat. And the third kind is the defensive kind, like Tara, Arduin. Like Arduin can engage, but he's better like a counter engage. Malok, Lubu, they're not engagers, they're defensive types. So those types tend to be more tankier. And in the ideal situation, you want 2 kinds of side laners in each game. You want an attacking type and a defensive type. ADCs are defensive types, by the way, but I don't really consider them as side laners. I don't pick them at all. But you have to understand that the attacking side laner is usually better to join the fight, right? And not split push. But this hero is special, he can join fights faster. So not only can he serve as the split pusher, which is usually reserved for the defensive type, he can also be as the attacker, like this, right? So this guy is also tier 0. But usually what you should think about is, should you split push or not? And in an ideal world, both side lanes should split push the side lanes to create pressure. But you should just think about when it's appropriate. Like, let's say this tower is down, the wave is coming here. Your first instinct is to clean this wave, right? But you should think about whether it's worth to give this up and stop split pushing and join the fight instead. So this obviously depends on like 600 different factors. You should just always be thinking in game, like, did I make a mistake? Should I have joined the fight? Like, if you join the fight, you have a high chance of cleaning the fight up and wrapping the game up. Or maybe you know the fight's awful because the enemy has a Crest who has max rage and you're playing with like an Alice. So it's worth to give up this fight and take this wave instead. 25 seconds later, Crest has no ult. Your team is mid again, but then that's the great opportunity to come in, because they're at a disadvantage and bang. Or you fuck up their Malok's ult like 20 seconds before here. You still have ult, so you just come in. Even if the Malok comes, he has no ult, so you know you can bang on this fight, right? So to split push or not, I can't tell you the right answer. I can only tell you have to think about it in game. And you're probably going to be wrong 95% of the time. What can I say? But as you play more side lane, you can work on correcting those mistakes. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I talked for a very long time. I know some of these concepts are very easy to understand. I think most of them are pretty easy, but it's one thing to listen and to understand, which everyone can. Like I was just repeating like all the easy concepts, man. But to apply them to your game is truly very difficult. And I'm sure all the AOV greats know most of these concepts, but they don't actually use them appropriately in game. So the conclusion to that is either they don't spam the game hard enough or they don't care enough. So if you really want to get better, learn about all of these, start from the beginning, apply them to every game, and spam like 100, 200 games on one hero, and you'll see some of these concepts coming to light. If you forget about these concepts, you have to watch the video again. I'm not joking around. Like, seriously, if you want to get better, take your learning seriously. Like, don't slack off. But of course, at the end of the day, it's a game. So, you know, if you don't care, then just don't care. Just play like what you want. But if you want to feel good and be that side lane warlord, that 2000 elo warlord who solo kills everyone in every game, then yeah, these are all these concepts you have to learn. You can't fuck around with these concepts. You have to apply all of them in every game. And I know it's hard, it takes time. It's not easy work, but you'll find that if you play more and apply these, the game is more fun this way when you have more control over everything. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's very long, I know, but it's a lot about what I learned in side lane over the past year. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.
You got me, nigga? Yeah, here we go. All right. Yeah? Yes, yeah. Yeah, okay.